Welcome, wedding guests. I want to talk about Fantastic Four, number 5, or 650, whichever way you want to look at it. It is the big issue that we have been building up for the last 4 issues, actually, of the big wedding between Ben Grimm and Alicia Masters. And this was pretty fantastic. Let's see, it's written by Dan Slott. There's a couple different artists on this. There is Aaron Cutter. There's also some separate short stories. Changing Partners, drawn by Mike Allred, with Laura Allred. Guys Night Out, with Adam Hughes. And I really loved this. This was a pretty thick book. This is like $8, but you know what? It was worth every penny, frankly. We are getting into kind of like the new headquarters of the Fantastic Four on Yancey Street, where Ben owns this building, and since they don't own the Baxter building anymore, this is the new headquarters of the Fantastic Four, appropriately enough, on Yancey Street. And of course Reed does what Reed does, and he has kind of done a TARDIS with the building, where it's bigger on the inside. And he is working on a whole bunch of different projects as usual. There's this wonderful sequence where Ben calls Sue to help him out because he wants to learn how to dance for their first dance at the wedding, and he keeps crippling all these poor dance instructors. She helps him because, well, she has force fields. She can put them around her feet. And that gets into this really intriguing and touching story about the relationship between Ben and Sue during the beginnings of the Fantastic Four, where she was kind of beginning to kind of like cool off on Reed and get more attracted to Ben, but then he was turned into the Thing, and initially she was really kind of disgusted by him and kind of like a little mean to him. And it goes into their relationship on how she helped encourage Ben and Alicia, to kind of like, hook up, and was very encouraging, very pushy about it, until Ben has this wonderful moment where he's like, look, I get it, what's this? I'm sorry, Sue, but the thing is, she's nothing like you. And that kind of got to her, like, you don't need to replace her with, you don't need to, like, have her be a replacement for you, and you don't have to make it up to me, it's okay. And boy, that's a really strong scene. This is one of the things I enjoy so much about Dan Slott's work with the Fantastic Four, is he really gets into the character, the family dynamic of it. There tends to be that kind of thing where writers tend to either go headfirst into the family dynamic or the super crazy sci-fi stories, and I do like kind of a mixture of both. And Dan Slott he is really strong with building up these characters. Then of course we get to an Adam Hughes drawn story where Reed's kind of flaked out on the whole bachelor party thing. He's the best man. That's his responsibility. He's completely screwed that up. So Johnny takes the wheel. And of course, actually, to be honest, if you're going to get a bachelor party, I mean, who's going to throw you a better one, Reed or Johnny, for God's sakes? Anyway, this is a hilarious bit. We've seen a couple bachelor parties in Marvel Comics before, and this one delivers as well. There's a whole bunch of cool shenanigans that keeps happening. By the way, I gotta say, I don't know if I've ever really seen Adam Hughes' take on Spider-Man. I absolutely love it. I'd love to see him do more Spider-Man in the past. It's very 80s John Romita Jr. Spider-Man, and I love that look. Anyway, they get fights with supervillains. They get into a game of strip poker with Thundra, who dominates them, which is fantastic. I love seeing Thundra wearing their clothes. Poor even loses his arm during literally loses his arm during the game. It's just great. And then it ends with this really nice scene between Ben and Johnny. Then of course we get to the actual wedding, where we get to see Aunt Petunia again. Let's see. And also, Franklin's sporting a new look. I love the idea of giving him, like aging him up a little bit because of the being in a different universe for 5 years kind of thing. It's good because the character is like, the character is older than me. He shouldn't still be 8 years old. So I like the fact that he's kind of in his mid-teens now. It's a good kind of cheat. And I also love him coloring his hair. And then, of course, it looks like Reed is flaking out on the wedding. And no, he is able to make it just in time. As usual, just in time. And, of course, the wedding is very touching. Let's see, there is some spoilers in here because I can't really get into it. But it looks like Galactus has shown up in Latveria. Dr. Doom interrupts the wedding with a holographic broadcast, where he says, "You need to come now," or, actually, no, more like, "I will solve this problem, not you." Essentially just calling him out in front of the whole world. But Reed does this wonderful time displacement thingy, and he essentially, like, gives them time to have their wedding and then go save the world. It's beautiful, it's touching, and of course, like, I liked how each individual story within this focused on a member of the Fantastic Four and their relationship with Ben, and it's absolutely sweet. This also leads into a story arc with Galactus and Doom, so that isn't just like a throwaway, like, oh, hey, we're gonna fight Galactus, blah, blah. No, they're actually kind of following up on that, which I think is great. So, next month we'll be going to Latveria to fight Galactus and probably Doom, so it's probably, it's going to be some action. I absolutely love this. This is beautiful. All the art in here. I'm always a big fan of Adam Hughes and Mike Allred. Dan Slott's writing is just top notch in these pages. I love these characters. And like the return of Spider-Man, for me anyway, I know Peter Parker's been around for the last few years, since the whole Dr. Octopus thing. But to me lately, I don't know, Spider-Man and Fantastic Four, and they're doing a little bit with X-Men, and they're also doing it with X-Men. Like, it's nice to see them kind of find themselves again with these titles. I absolutely love this. I'm really happy I'm on board. So, look, this is one of those wedding issues you should pick up. It's really great. And of course, the irony is not lost on me that this is the issue that they paid tribute to Stan Lee with. For this moment in history for Ben Grimm, it's kind of weird timing. But totally you should get this. It's 5 out of 5 RAM chips. Look forward to picking up the next issue of Fantastic Four. I decided to pick up the first few issues, see how Dan Slott was doing, and I'm all on board. So I'm going to continue picking up this book monthly. So, hey, what did you get? What did you think? Did you read Fantastic Four number 5 or 650? You renumbering bastards. Let me know in the comments below, and maybe we can talk about it. If you've never seen this video before, if you've never seen me before, hey, like and subscribe. I also have a Patreon where you can help support this channel, and I'm on Facebook and Twitter. Follow me there so I can keep you up to date with, I don't know, my opinions about crap, I guess. All right, with that said, push the button, Lindsay.
Really, no mice.